Hello all. In this video, we'll learn about basal ganglia nuclei. So as you can see here, there are so many named structures which is shown here. These are all subcortical nuclei that helps in voluntary motor activity, procedural learning and habit formation. So these are the different nuclei which has been named here. As you can observe here, this is a caudate nucleus and this sky blue color one would be your putamen. Clear? And medially placed to putamen is globus pallidus interna and externa. As you can observe, this is a midline here. Very close to midline would be globus pallidus interna. Lateral to that would be globus pallidus externa. So you can see on the other side also globus pallidus interna, globus pallidus externa, and you have your putamen here and caudate nucleus placed here, okay, very closely. So now remember the motor information from the cerebral cortex enters through the basal ganglia structures via caudate nucleus and putamen. It is like a gate, the entry gate. So from the cortex, the information has to pass through caudate nucleus and putamen to enter into the basal ganglia. Now caudate nucleus and putamen together we call it as striatum. So the fibers coming from cortex to basal ganglia, we call it as corticostriatal fibers. It means the information is relayed from cortex to caudate nucleus and putamen. From here, the information would be processed inside basal ganglia and it will be sent out to thalamus and then sent back into the cortex. So now just as the yellow color structure what is shown here is thalamus. Below thalamus we have subthalamic nuclei. Just very closely placed to the subthalamic nuclei is our substantia nigra. Substantia nigra has pars compacta, pars reticularis, meaning some fibers are compactly placed and some fibers are slightly loosely placed, and we call it as pars reticularis. Now we'll see the same thing in a real section of a brain. So this is the cortex gray matter. This would be the white matter here. And as you can see here, there's a caudate nucleus and this is the putamen. Clear? I was mentioning the information flows from cortex to basal ganglia via first it comes to caudate nucleus and putamen. From there it gets processed within the basal ganglial structures. Okay, very close to putamen you can see globus pallidus externa. This is globus pallidus interna, and this is the thalamus. And here comes the subthalamic nuclei, and this black structure is the substantia nigra. Okay, so now the information from the cortex enters to striatum. So we call it as corticostriatal fibers. But remember, always the exit gate of basal ganglia is your globus pallidus interna. The fiber always leaves from the impulses leave from the basal ganglia from globus pallidus interna. It goes to thalamus. From thalamus, it goes to cortex. So thalamus to cortex, I call it as thalamocortical fibers. So just remember here, caudate nucleus and putamen is the entry gate. The exit gate is the your globus pallidus interna. From interna, fibers goes to thalamus. From thalamus, back again to cortex. So as you can observe here, the information has come to caudate nucleus and putamen. From there to globus pallidus interna, interna to thalamus, and thalamus to cortex.